Plaintiff Taft Duncan says the defendant is his brother, and they are complete opposites. Taft admits that he went to prison for 9 years due to drugs and returned shortly after he was released. Taft claims he stored his 3 TVs at the defendant's home, but the defendant claims they were stolen, so Taft is suing. Defendant Kenton Duncan insists his house was robbed while Taft's televisions were there, and even his own TV and his wife's jewelry were stolen. Kenton claims after the robbery, Taft tried to assault him, and he insists he bought Taft 3 new TVs, but they weren't up to his standards.
Start with you.
Your Honor, this is my older brother by 2 years. You know, grew up very close, but we're totally different in character. You know, if I put us together, you know, he's like Carlton, I'm the Fresh Prince. You know, I was always into trouble, you know, in the streets, getting into trouble. He had his nose in the books, played sports. You know, as far as he went to private school, I'm to alternative school for bad kids. You know, I was always in the streets. You know, as we got older, he stayed away from the streets. I stayed in the streets, getting in trouble still. You know, he lives the American dream. Wife, 2 kids, dog, picket fence. You know, Your Honor,
Streets didn't work out for you?
Oh no, Your Honor, you know, I went to prison for 9 years for conspiracy to distribute crack cocaine. But you
What
know,
are you doing since you come out?
trying to find a job, but just got out about 30 days ago.
All right, go ahead.
I love my older brother. He was my idol growing up. But this situation right here is towards apart. You know,
All right, before we get to the situation, let me allow him to give some background. Sir?
Well, Your Honor, this whole situation is pretty crazy. You know, he makes jokes of me being Carlton, but when this whole thing came down, he got mad at me, came at my house, chasing me around like he's Debo or something, round and around my wife's car, you know, trying to assault me. You know, my wife's sitting right here. She's, you know, witnessed the whole thing, and she might even have something even to add to the situation.
Well, first he has to tell me why he is suing you and chased you around the car.
Defendant Kenton Duncan is being sued by his brother, who he claims tried to assault him after his 3 TVs were stolen from Kenton's home.
So let me hear from him. Sir, tell me what happened here.
Your Honor, I was going back to prison, so I took my TVs over to my brother's house. I had 3 42-inch brand new flat screen TVs.
When?
I took them over there end of September.
3 42-inch TVs?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
October 13th, October 14th, my sister-in-law called me, which is my brother's wife, telling me the house got broken into. You know, then my brother called me later on in the day. We talked, I told him to claim my TVs on his insurance. I called him 16 days later. He tells me the insurance ain't gonna replace the TVs. So I asked him, no, I need you to replace my TVs. He gets to hollering and hangs the phone. It's okay, you know, I went to his house. I want to see if he's really about that street life. If he really wanted them problems, I was gonna bring them. You know, last time I see my brother.
You're ready to go back to prison?
I was already on my way, Your Honor. You know, last time I seen my brother, you know, I seen him from the behind because he ran into his house.
What happened?
He's still in good shape. He's still the running back that he was in high school.
So you didn't catch him?
No, Your Honor.
All right, so you didn't catch him that day, and then what happened?
I get out of prison May 30th this year. I go to my mom's house, visit her. She tells me my brother got 3 TVs for me. So I leave, go home, call her back the next day. She said he dropped them off. Asked what size they was. She said 39-inch TVs. That's not what I had. You know, so I told my mom, tell them to come get them. I don't want them, I just sue them.
Okay, sir?
Well, first of all, I hung up the phone on him the day he called me on October 26th. He called and asked, what'd you hear from the insurance company? Well, the insurance company's not gonna give me anything for your TVs. You couldn't provide me with proof of purchase, and then they, you know, after fighting with him for a couple weeks, then they came back with the clause saying he doesn't live with you, he should have renter's insurance, you're not liable for his TVs, we're not paying on them. So, you know, when I first told him the insurance company's not gonna give me anything for your TVs, he starts yelling and hollering and cussing at me. I hung up the phone. I didn't say anything back then.
Gotcha.
I waited a few minutes to call him back, you know, and then say, hey, you know, we haven't got an insurance check for this stuff yet, and you're, you know, wanting your TVs. I'm on my way to your house. Okay, I'm like, we're not home. You know, we were home, but I just got home from work. We're about to leave and go to lunch. I'm walking a friend of ours out the house. My brother's on my front porch. He starts chasing me around the cars. I mean, literally, like, you know, two kids. And he's a big man. I'm not gonna sit there and fight him. I'm 43 years old. I don't have no reason to fight, you know. So of course, like I said, I tried everything possible. We appealed with the insurance company. We fought. Actually, my wife did most of the work with the insurance company. I was at work. Like I say, no proof of purchase at the beginning.
Got that part.
Then,
now, what about the 3 televisions that you purchased for him?
Well, the TVs I bought on Thanksgiving, part of the Black Friday sales. I didn't take them to him at the time because he was turning himself in December 1st. So I just waited till my mom, till he got out, took him to my mom's house, and he didn't go look at them. He just saw them, told my mom he didn't want them, and that he was going to sue.
Were they new?
Yeah, they were brand new, still in the box. Looked pretty good too. Actually, I bought one for myself. So I guess,
In addition to the 3, or you kept
yeah, in
one
addition
of
to the 3 Black Friday sales, you can't.
What happened
beat 'em.
to the 3?
Actually, after he cussed out my mother and hung up the phone on me, she cussed me out and told me to take
He
them back.
cursed your mother out?
Yes, that's what she said. I didn't hear the conversation.
Your mother told you that?
My mom was livid.
Did you cuss your mother out, sir?
No, I didn't, Your Honor.
Okay.
She's pretty upset.
And where are the televisions now?
I did like she told me. I took them back to the store.
Why don't you think you should compensate them for the television?
I don't think I owe them. I mean, I tried my best to make it right, but obviously my best wasn't good enough. I couldn't afford to buy 3 42-inch TVs. For the sale that they had on these, and they're high def and everything. I have pictures of them and everything. They're good TVs.
Of the 3 that you tried to give him?
Yeah, actually, I have the one that I still have in my home.
How much did you pay?
I think they were approximately
Altogether?
70. Oh, altogether, $600-700, Your Honor.
I mean, now you coming here with this con, got me on and put me on the television. Once again, how much did you pay, sir?
About $700, Your Honor.
700, and they were 39 inch instead of 42 inch?
Yes, sir.
Do you know how much 42 inch cost?
Yes, Your Honor. I got an estimate right here.
Let's see it. How old were the televisions?
A couple months old, probably about
Is
4
that
months old.
true?
They were still brand new in the box, Your Honor.
Yeah, well, that means new. And they were stolen while in the box.
Yes, sir.
They were stolen out of his house.
Well, I should say this. When the TVs got stolen, I called my brother. I said, hey, I need the insurance paperwork. And I said, plus, whoever stole these TVs, they're not going to keep them. They're going to sell them because they're still brand new in the box. And they took my 50 inches, TV along with his. So I said, why don't you go hit the streets? You know people. Maybe you can find our TVs before they're gone. Within an hour, he called me back. He already knew people that had information. One of the TVs was sold to a certain person. They gave him a phone number that turned out to be no good. I believe that the people that he talked to, being that they're kind of close to us, they knew exactly what happened.
Defendant Kenton Duncan is being sued by his brother, who he claims tried to assault him after his 3 TVs were stolen from Kenton's home.
So what's your legal defense today?
Being that I am not liable as far as I didn't do anything negligent in this situation. They were in my home, they were secured, they were in a storeroom under a clothing rack in the corner. So for you to even get to them, you got to go look for them. They just weren't out in the open.
It's a good legal defense. You have any other evidence where he promised to pay you, perhaps?
I got text messages.
Anything else?
I have a police report that states that I have my TVs in his house.
Let's see it. But why did you attempt to pay him if you now feel that you had no liability for him?
Because he's my brother and I love him. Felt like it was the right thing to do, although the money that I took to pay him with was money that should have went to my wife because she had a lot of jewelry stolen in this burglary. So, as
Sir,
far
what do you
as-
feel about the defense that he did nothing wrong? What did he do wrong?
Your Honor, I just want to man about the situation.
What did he do wrong, though?
He bought the wrong TVs first.
No. When the televisions were stolen, what did he do wrong to create liability? To be liable for something, the person has to have done something wrong. So what did he do wrong?
Your Honor, he didn't secure the TVs like he's supposed to. He said he's in a supply room, whatever.
Where should they have been?
He said he's putting them up in a safe spot. He said,
And a supply room, you don't think is,
I had them in stores already at my friend's shop.
where do you think he should put them in?
Probably next to them pit bulls that was downstairs in that basement.
Okay, and the pit bulls never leave?
Nah.
Is the supply room downstairs?
They downstairs.
So the supply room and the pit bulls are downstairs.
Yes.
So then he did what you thought he should do. Have them in the supply room near the pit bulls.
The pit bull is supposed to have been locked up at the time. Anytime I come over there, them dogs running loose. That's why I didn't chase him in his house.
And he told you they were locked up at that point?
Word of mouth, he told me they was locked up at his house, locked up into a kennel.
Okay.
Your Honor, he been living in that house for 15 years. My TVs was there 3 weeks, and your house get broken into.
The law is he's a caretaker of your items, and he's doing you a favor. He cannot encounter liability for doing you a favor unless he is grossly negligent, not even regular negligence, gross negligence. Why? Because he's doing you a favor. And that's why I keep asking you, what did he do wrong? Well, putting them in the storage room is a reasonable approach to storing them. And so therefore, I'm going to conclude he did nothing wrong. And he was a victim of a third party. Both of you are victims. And when you're victims, you have to catch the perpetrator and sue him. Case dismissed. That's the law. Have a good day.
I hate that it happened. You know, he's not the only victim in this. We lost a lot of items as well. He's my brother. I'm supposed to love him. Families first is one of my mottos. So I feel bad about it.
No, we straight. We straight.
I don't think he wants to talk to me.
For answers to your legal questions and more, go to my website, askjudgemathis.com.